The house was always quiet, the kind of quiet that felt heavier at night. Emily often stood by the living room window, watching streetlights glow through the trees while the world outside slowly went to sleep. Inside, everything felt frozen in. Routine, the same couch, the same ticking clock, the same empty feeling in her chest. She had been married to Daniel for 8 years. Once, their laughter filled every room. Once, he rushed home just to see her smile. Now, he came late, tired, and silent. They spoke about work, bills, and plans that never happened. Love had not disappeared, but it had grown weak, like a fading candle. Emily tried to be patient. She cooked dinner every night. She asked about his day. She waited up for him even when her eyes burned with sleep. But Daniel was always somewhere else, lost in stress and responsibility. He loved her in words, but not in presence. Loneliness slowly became her closest companion. Some nights she lay beside him, inches apart, yet feeling miles away. Other nights she cried quietly into her pillow, afraid to sound needy. She didn't want to fight. She just wanted to feel chosen again. That Friday evening started like any other, but the sky darkened quickly. Thick clouds rolled in and the wind picked up, bending the trees along the street. Thunder growled far away, growing closer with each passing minute. Daniel texted her around 6. Power outage downtown. Might be late. Emily read the message twice, then placed her phone on the table. She didn't feel angry anymore. Disappointment had become normal. Rain suddenly poured down hard, loud against the roof and windows. The world outside blurred into gray streaks of water. Emily lit a candle in the living room and wrapped herself in a blanket, sitting on the couch alone. The storm felt like it matched her heart. Then came the knock. Sharp, sudden. Her breath caught. No one ever knocked that late. Another knock, followed louder this time. Emily stood slowly and walked to the door. Her hand trembled as she opened it. Mark stood there, soaked from rain, hair darkened by water, chest rising fast from running. "Emily," he said softly, "I'm sorry to bother you so late. My car broke down nearby. The storm got worse, and I didn't know where else to go." She recognized him instantly. Daniel's best friend since childhood. A man who used to visit often years ago, but slowly disappeared as life became busy. "Of course," she said quickly. "Come in before you catch a cold." Thunder cracked loudly as he stepped inside. The door closed behind him, shutting out the rain but letting something else enter the house. A strange tension Emily hadn't felt in years. Mark wiped his jacket and looked around. Same house, same warm feeling. Emily forced a small smile. Things never change. They sat across from each other in the living room. The candle flickered between them, shadows dancing along the walls. Rain hammered the windows like restless fingers. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Mark sighed. "Daniel still working nonstop?" "Yes," she said quietly. "Always." He nodded slowly. He used to talk about slowing down someday. Emily laughed softly, not from humor, but from tiredness. Someday never comes. Silence returned, thick, but not uncomfortable. Mark studied her face. "You look different." She frowned. "Different how?" "Sad," he said gently. "Like you're carrying something heavy." Her throat tightened. No one had said that to her in years. "I'm just tired," she whispered. "Not the kind sleep fixes," he replied. The truth in his words broke something inside her. "Feel alone," she admitted, "even when I'm not." The storm outside roared louder, almost as if listening. Mark leaned forward. "Emily, you deserve happiness. You deserve to feel loved every day." Tears filled her eyes. "I used to." He paused. "Daniel loves you. But sometimes love gets lost when life takes over." She nodded slowly. "I miss who we were." The candle flickered as thunder shook the house. Mark's voice softened. "I always admired you. You were kind when no one noticed. Strong when no one thanked you." Her heart raced. This attention felt dangerous and comforting. "I shouldn't be hearing this," she said weakly. "I know," he replied. "But it hurts seeing you fade like this." They sat closer. Now, without realizing it, rain streamed down the windows like tears. Emily hugged the blanket around her. "Some days I feel invisible." Mark looked straight into her eyes. "I see you." Those 3 words hit harder than any argument ever had. Her breath caught. No one had said that in years. Silence wrapped around them again, thick and warm. The lights suddenly flickered. Then everything went dark. Only the candle remained. Emily gasped softly. Mark chuckled nervously. Storm must have taken the power. The house now glowed in soft orange light. Their faces were close enough to feel each other's breath. The world outside felt far away. Mark swallowed. "Lee?" "There's something I've never said." Her heart pounded. "Mark, please, I've always cared about you," he confessed. "Even before you married Daniel." The words hung in the air, thunder boomed. Her mind screamed that this was wrong. Her heart whispered that it felt right. "I love my husband," she said softly. "I know," he replied. "I would never want to hurt him. But feelings don't disappear just because we hide them." She stood up quickly, walking a few steps away. "This can't happen." Mark followed slowly, but kept distance. "I'm not asking for anything. I just needed you to know." She turned, tears in her eyes. "Why now?" "Because seeing you hurts me," he said. "Because I couldn't stay silent anymore." Rain slowed outside, but her thoughts raced faster. "I feel something too," she admitted in a broken whisper. "And that scares me." Mark's eyes softened. The candlelight danced between them. Neither moved. Neither spoke. The tension felt like a wire about to snap. Mark slowly reached out, stopping inches from her hand. "If you tell me to stop, I will." Her fingers trembled. Part of her wanted to pull away. Another part wanted to feel something alive again. Thunder rolled softly in the distance now, fading. She didn't pull back. Their fingers brushed, electric, warm, real. Her breath shook. Before she could finish, the front door suddenly unlocked. Footsteps echoed in the hallway. Daniel's voice called out, "Emily!" The power's out everywhere. Her blood turned cold. She jerked her hand away. Mark stepped back fast. The candle flickered wildly. Daniel entered the living room, rain dripping from his coat. Then he froze, seeing Mark, seeing Emily's pale face. "What's going on?" Daniel asked slowly. The storm outside had passed, but inside the house, everything was about to change. Daniel stood in the doorway, rain dripping from his jacket, eyes moving slowly between Emily and Mark. The candle on the table flickered, throwing long shadows across the room. The air felt tight, like it was hard to breathe. "Mark," Daniel said carefully, "what are you doing here?" Mark cleared his throat. "My car broke down nearby. The storm got bad." "Emily, let me wait here." Daniel nodded once, but his face stayed tense. "Thanks for helping him." Emily forced a small smile, but her hands shook. Silence filled the room, broken only by distant thunder. Daniel walked in and set his jacket down. The whole block lost power. Roads are flooded. He lit another candle. The soft light showed everything: Emily's red eyes, Mark's stiff posture, the space between them that felt full of unspoken words. Daniel looked at Emily closely. "Are you okay?" "Yes," she said too quickly. "Just surprised you got home early." He didn't answer right away. Something in her voice felt wrong. Minutes passed slowly. Rain softened outside. Mark finally stood. "I should check my car again. Storm's easing up." Daniel nodded. "I'll walk you out." They moved toward the door. Before stepping outside, Mark turned back. His eyes met Emily's. There was regret there, and something unfinished. Then he left. The door closed. The house felt emptier than ever. Daniel turned slowly. What was that really about? He asked. Emily swallowed hard. He just needed shelter. Daniel took a step closer. You don't look like someone who just offered shelter. Her eyes filled with tears. Emily, he said softly, talk to me. She tried to hold it together. She couldn't. I'm lonely, she whispered. The word fell heavy between them. I'm here, Daniel replied. But you're not, she cried. You come home tired. You sit quiet. You sleep. Days go by without us really talking. He rubbed his forehead. I work hard for us. I know, she said, and I'm grateful. But I lost you somewhere along the way. Silence returned, deeper this time. The storm outside faded into light rain. Daniel's voice lowered. Do you have feelings for him? Her lips trembled. I never planned to, she said. But tonight I felt seen for the first time in years. That was answer enough. Daniel stepped back. Pain crossed his face. Did anything happen? No, she said quickly. We didn't touch like that, but the feelings were there. He closed his eyes. I never thought this would happen to us. Neither did I, she whispered. They stood apart like strangers. Daniel looked around the room, the couch where they once cuddled, the table, where they ate together every night, the walls that held years of memories. When did I lose you? He asked quietly. Emily shook her head. I tried to tell you. You were always busy. He sighed deeply. I thought providing was loving. It is, she said. But love needs time too. Another heavy silence. Thunder rolled softly far away. Daniel finally spoke. Do you love him? She wiped her tears. I don't know. I think I loved the feeling of being noticed. He nodded slowly. That hurts, he said honestly. I never wanted to hurt you, she cried. I still love you. But you were ready to fall for someone else, he replied. Her shoulders shook. I was falling into loneliness, she said. He just happened to be there. Daniel paced the room slowly. I trusted you, he said. You still can, she whispered. Nothing happened. But something almost did. He replied. The truth hung heavy. He stopped and looked at her. Do you want to stay in this marriage? Yes, she said without hesitation. I want us back. I want you back. He studied her face, and if Mark hadn't left? She hesitated for a second. That second said everything. Daniel turned away. I don't know how to fix this, he said. We can try, she begged. Talk more. Spend time together. Don't let us fade. He laughed softly, but there was no joy. I thought we were strong enough to survive silence. Silence broke us, she said. Another pause. The rain finally stopped. The house felt too quiet again. Daniel grabbed his jacket. I need air, he said. Daniel, please, Emily whispered. He paused at the door. I'm not leaving you, he said softly. I just need to think. Then he walked out. The door closed behind him. Emily collapsed onto the couch, tears flowing freely. Her chest hurt like it was breaking open. She replayed the night in her mind. The storm, the candlelight marks. Words, Daniel's eyes full of pain. Everything had changed in a few hours. Minutes passed. Then the door opened again. Daniel stepped back inside, soaked again from the wet ground. He didn't speak right away. Emily stood slowly. I'm sorry for everything. He looked tired, older. I never realized how far apart we drifted, he said. She nodded. I thought working harder was loving harder, he continued, but I was wrong. She walked closer carefully. I should have spoken louder instead of letting loneliness grow. They stood face to face. I don't want to lose you, Daniel said. I don't want to lose us, she replied. Tears filled both their eyes. But trust is hurt, he said, and that takes time. I'll wait, she whispered. I'll do whatever it takes. He took a deep breath. We need to rebuild slowly. Honestly, she nodded again. I'm ready." They sat together on the couch, not touching yet, but close. The house was quiet again, but different now. Not empty, not peaceful, just real. "I'm scared," Emily admitted. "So am I," Daniel said. "But maybe this storm showed us what we were ignoring." She looked at him. "Do you think we can heal?" He thought for a moment. "I think love is still here," he said. "But it will take work." She leaned her head against his shoulder gently. He didn't pull away. Outside, the clouds slowly broke apart and moonlight slipped. Through the windows, the storm was gone, but its damage remained. And its lesson, too. Some love doesn't end in shouting. Sometimes it almost ends in silence. And sometimes it takes a storm to remind two hearts to fight for each other again. What happened next would depend on their choices. But for the first time in years, they were finally looking at each other again, not as strangers, but as two people willing to try. And that was the beginning of something new.